Hello everyone and welcome to Odoo Live. This is Ken, the marketing officer here at Odoo Hong Kong, and I'll be your host for today's webinar. Joining me today, we have Lisa, the Senior Business Partnership Consultant here at Odoo Hong Kong, and we will discuss Odoo Purchase in this webinar. And throughout the presentation, if you have any question, you can leave your question in the YouTube chat box, and Lisa will help me to get to them at the end of our section during our Q&A. And if you'd like to view this webinar again, you can just simply access the video once the live event has finished. And thanks again for all your joining, and let's get started with our webinar. Lisa, all yours.
Thanks, Ken. So today, I'm going to be your presenter. What my strengths are is customer relationships, and I'm a partnership recruiter, so I can sign up partners. I can also present demos and discuss the best practices for you to run your business. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me email. My email is lbr@odoo.com, which you can see at the bottom. So the agenda for today is, first I'm going to talk about what is Odoo, the clients who are using Odoo, the webinar objective, and then we're going to have a question and answer round, as Ken mentioned. So Odoo is an all-in-one business management software. We have an easy-to-use interface compared to other vendors out there, and we try to be a one-stop solution for all businesses to run their workflow. So these are our modules which we cover in Odoo. As you can see, we try to cover every department. So we have website, sales, we have a module for manufacturing, marketing, etc. So we try to have a comprehensive list of features and functionalities available. Sorry, excuse me. So we're a Belgium-based company. Our headquarters is located in Brussels, and we currently have offices all around the world. So we have two in America, in San Francisco and New York, one in Brussels, one in Grand Rosier, Luxembourg, Gujarat, and we're based in the Hong Kong office, which means we handle the APAC region. So Odoo currently can support 32 languages. We have more than 3 million users worldwide to this day, and we average around 1,000 installations on a daily basis. And in the last 4 years, we've had a growth of around 1,459%. Considering we were founded in 2005, and back then we only had 3 employees, we've come quite a long way, and we hope to continue moving in this direction. So some of our clients using Odoo. We cater more towards small, medium enterprise businesses, but Odoo is a system which can be used by large enterprises as well. As you can see, we have some big names like WWF, Shell, Hyundai. So we're a system which can be used by a company with 2 users or a company with 5,000 users. We're pretty scalable. And again, we have 3 million users worldwide. So today we're going to be looking at the purchase module. We're going to look at how to set up a request for quotation and go through the process of creating a purchase order from the beginning to the very end. Yep, here are my contact details again, so just feel free to contact me. Okay. So this is the app interface of Odoo. As you can see, it's clean and easy to use. The apps I have installed right now for the purpose of this presentation are sales, purchase, inventory, and invoicing. If you, let's say, want to get an app quick, you can literally just type it in your keyboard, and the system will filter the app for you straight away. So if I want sales, I can just get the sales app there. If I want purchase, I just type PUR, and this is a function which makes it easy for the end user to find the app that they're looking for. So first, I'm going to click into my purchase module, as this is what we're looking at today. And on the top here, you can see I have 4 options. So purchase, control, reporting, configuration. So with every single module and app, it's the same layout. So first we're going to start by creating a product. As you can see, I have some test products which I've created before, but we can create a product together so you can see how it works. So this is called the product form view. Let's say I want to create some glasses. I can decide if this product can be sold or can be purchased. So if it's a raw material, then it can't be sold, it would just be purchased. But in this case, I'll say I buy it and then I sell it. Under general information here, I have the product type, so I can decide whether it's a consumable, service, or stockable. If it's a service, then usually you don't really purchase it because it's a service you offer to your customers. So in this case, I'm going to make it a stockable product just for the purpose of the presentation. We can set categories as well. And you can also put internal reference records, internal reference. So if you want to find this product later on in the system, you can easily just type in the reference code and you can find it very easily in the filter. We also have a barcode scanner available. This makes life easier, so if you're in the warehouse, you can just use a scanner to check the inventory coming in instead of having to type it in one by one. The sales price here is how much we sell it for, so I'll say 50. And the price to get it, we could say is 10. Another thing we have available in purchase is unit of measure. So because it's a hat right now, I'll just say I buy it by the unit. But let's say, for example, if we were buying water or some drinks, we can put it in liters, or we have many different units of measure you can choose from. And then the purchase unit of measure is how you buy it from your supplier. So you can decide, maybe I buy the hats in dozens, and then I sell it in units. So you can calculate all of this in the system. If we go to variants, I can also add, let's say, for example, size. And then under attribute values, I can put small, medium, and large. Oops, sorry. Large. So now the software knows that this product comes in, there are 3 different variants for it. So when purchasing an order, you can choose to purchase just a small, the medium, or the large, and same with selling it as well. So let me save this first. If I click into my sales, into my purchase, because we're in the purchase module right now, so there isn't much in sales here. So if I click into my purchase, I can set reordering. So I can propose a call for tenders, or I can create a draft purchase order. If you propose a call for tenders, then you can say to maybe 5 or 6 different vendors, this is what I'm looking for, and it's kind of like a bid. We can also create vendors for specific products. So let's say I want to create a new vendor. I'll just call this test vendor 2. If I create and edit it. A good thing about Odoo is you can also create vendors and products on the fly throughout the system. Like right now, I'm creating this vendor on the fly. So I'll say this vendor is a company. I can put their address in here, their tags, and all their personal information. On the top here, I can see if I've purchased, if I've ever purchased anything from them, and if there are any vendor bills, etc. And I can also put their contact information here, some internal notes about the vendor, the name of their salesperson, and their currency, and then the invoicing as well. So like payment terms, for example, might be 30 net days, we could say. So I can save this. Let's say from this vendor, every time I buy from them, I buy a minimum quantity of 50 units. and for this price I pay 100. Here I also have a multiple currency option. For now on the system I just have it in Euro and USD, but we can add more currencies if needed. So I can save and close this. And now this product is linked to this vendor. Under inventory, I have a choice for the glasses to do drop shipping, made to order, or buy. For now, I'll just leave it at buy. But I'll show you the drop shipping function later on in the presentation. And then for invoicing, you can choose your taxes, how much you want to charge your customer, and create different policies on order quantities as well. So I'll save this for now. Across the top here, you can see these different options as well. So here under variants, because I set small, medium, and large, we can see I have 3 variants here. Small, medium, and large. And with each variant, I could change the quantity on hand or the sales price. And each one can have its own barcode as well. So just because I just created this product, I can see at the moment I have 0 quantity on hand, because I would need to order it first. The forecasted amount is 0 as well, because like I said, I still need to order it. I can locate the product moves if I do some transfers. And here I can see how many of this product has been sold and how many have been purchased. So all of this can be seen in one screen. At the bottom here as well, we have this Chatterbox. So this Chatterbox is a really good way for your team to have a communication. Sorry. So let's say I want to send a message to somebody, or I want to log an internal note about this vendor. I can write my note here, like prefers orders in USD only. And I can log my notes here as well. And if anybody in the company comes onto here, they'll be able to see this note. Only I'll be able to see this note. But if I send a message, then other people in the company who are following this will be able to see it as well. If I want to contact this vendor, I can schedule an activity and say, let's say I need to call them on Friday the 2nd, which is in 2 days. And I can just put a quick summary about what I want to call them about. So, for example, see if they have glasses in red. And then I can write some notes here as well and schedule that. So I can see in 2 days I have this to do. Let's say 2 days comes, this will notify me. I can, once I call them and find out, I can mark this as done. And then I can schedule the next activity, or I can just mark it as done here and it will be recorded. So for every action in the system that happens, you'll be able to see who did that action and the time they did it. So there's always a record of everything. And this will make life easier if there's ever a disagreement in the company, or you'll be able to check all the records and solve all the problems straight away. Okay, so now I've created a product. Let's create a request for a quotation. So in order to create a request for a quotation, I click here, create. I can choose my vendor. So let's say I choose this vendor. I can put the reference of the vendor and the purchase agreement, if I have one. And I can also set the order date here. So let's say the product I would like to get is, we could say, the glasses. So actually I'll use the vendor, test vendor 2, as I just created that. Sorry. And as you can see, because I set the order quantity for test vendor 2 and the glasses as a minimum order of 50, the system automatically calculates 50 units here. So it shows the product, the description, the scheduled date, the quantity and the units, and the pricing. So I set the pricing for 100. Because there's 50 units, it does 100 times 50, which is 5,000. So it does all the calculations for you and the tax as well. And here you could define your terms and conditions. So whenever there's a next step, the system will highlight in green what the next step should be, just so it's easy and clear for you to know what you need to do. And on the top right, it shows you the path you're going to take. So right now we're sending a request for a quotation. Once I send the email, it will show sent, and then the purchase order. So this is purchase order number 10. I'll send the request for quotation by email. So here, I'll just put the email of the test vendor here. And this is what the request for a quotation will look like from the vendor's end when he receives it. So it will have your company name and information here. You can put your company logo as well, your shipping address, and we have the request for quotation number, the description of what you're asking for, the expected date, and how many you need. So there's no price on here yet, because right now we're asking how much would it cost for this by this date. And at the bottom, again, all your information so you can be contacted easily. So I can send this. And I can see here the request for quotation is sent. If I want to print, I can print it here. And the next step for me is to confirm the order. Again, a record is kept of my action, so I can always keep and see what I've done in the past. And I could still send messages to the vendor and schedule next activities and log notes. So the next order is to confirm the order. So let's say I get a reply from this supplier and they give me the price. I'm happy with it. I can then confirm the order. So since I've confirmed the order, the next step is I'm waiting to receive the products. So a box has come up here, which shows a shipment, which is coming in. So if I click into my incoming shipments, I can see in my warehouse that from test vendor 2, on this date with this purchase order, the product of my small glasses, 50 should be coming in, which I'm waiting for. So then I can validate this. Oh, sorry. I need to say that I've received 50 units here. And I can see in my top right that it's done, which means I've received the products. So if I click on these boxes on the top left, it brings me back to this, the main screen. Right now I'm going to go into my inventory just to see my operations and my transfers. So the purchase order 10, which I just validated, I can see here it's done from test vendor 2. So there's a record already in my inventory, which is updated automatically from the purchase order. So now I'll go back to my purchase order. My test vendor 2, the one we just created, I can see the billing status now is waiting to bill. So at this point I've created the request for quotation, I've received it, sent the purchase order, received the shipment already. The next step is to create the vendor bill. So I can create that here. So the bill is for this supplier, this is the source document. Again, I could change the currency. I could add a reference, and here's my product, which I just purchased. So I will validate this, and I can register the payment. Here I can choose bank or cash. I'll just make it bank, and the payment date. So in the top right, I can see now it is paid. So I go to my purchase orders. Now there's no more bill to receive, and this is complete, the whole process. And I can see here that I have one purchase order bill already. If I go back to my products and I click on my glasses, I can see now that I have 50 on hand, and there are 50 forecasted. And I've created one purchase order. And if I want to get the information, I can click here, and I can see right now it's in my stock location. There's 50 units there. Okay. So the next thing I will be showing you is the reordering rule. So I can create a new product here. I'll make it stockable. And I can call this gloves. So here you can see I have a reordering rule option. So I will create a reordering rule for this for these gloves. I'll say I always want to have a minimum quantity of 20 in my warehouse and a maximum quantity of 100, which means I don't want to have more than 100 and I never want to have less than 20. And here you can create a quantity multiple as well. So let's say I always order 5 at one go, etc. So now I can save this. So with my gloves, because I have just created them, again I have 0 on hand and 0 in the warehouse. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I can also set vendors. So in this case, I will just use, I'll use test vendor 2 again. And I have a minimum quantity and price again I can set here. So I'll save this. So right now if I go into my request for quotations, there's nothing here yet. And my purchase orders, there's no purchase order for the gloves. The reason is I will need to run a scheduler first. So in order to do this, it's like a way to refresh the system so it can place the order. So here I will run the scheduler. And then I can go back to my purchase module. And here I can see automatically purchase order 11 for test vendor 2. The request for quotation is being created just from refreshing the system, because the system is saying that I need to order gloves 100 units, because when I set the reordering rule just now, I said I want either a minimum of 20 or a maximum of 100. So when I refresh the system, this was calculated straight away. So here I can change the price as well on the fly. So I'll say 20. Sorry. I'll just save that. And I'll send the request for quotation by email. Send that to my test vendor again. And then I can confirm the order and do the whole process again. I can see my shipment is coming through. I can receive the products here and validate 100 units. Okay, the last thing I will show you is the drop shipping. So in order to create drop shipping, I will go back to my products and I will we'll do the gloves. So in order to do drop shipping, I need to set the drop shipping option here, which is found under inventory, and also make to order. And I just need to make sure I have a test vendor here as well. Okay. So I will create a sales order. So what I did just now is came back to this page, and I'm clicking into my sales page now. So my customer will be Jill. And for my product, I will do the gloves, as I just chose this for the drop shipping. So I will save this. And I will send by email the sales order. And I will confirm the sale. So this is sales order number 4. If I go back into my purchase module, I can see here a request for quotation again is automatically created, which wasn't here before, for sales order number 4, for test vendor number 2. So this purchase order has been created specifically for sales order 4, so it can be shipped directly to the customer, which is a drop shipping. So here I will send request for quotation by email. Confirm the order, and then I will receive the products. So purchase order number 12, validate. And if I click onto my delivery slip here, I can see the product is being delivered to Jill instead of my warehouse. So that's purchase order 12, the gloves which is ordered, which is the drop shipping function. And it's done here as well. So if I go back to my purchase order, the next step is to create the vendor bill, which I can create here. And I can validate this. Save. Here I can see it's paid on the top right. And again, I can print the invoice if I want to, which will look like this. So it says the unit, the supplier, your information in the top, the vendor bill, the source, etc. So if I go back into my main page and I click into invoicing, I can go into purchase and see my payments. I can see I have 2 payments which have been posted. So from creating these payments in the purchase module, the invoicing is automatically updated with all the payment journals as well, because Odoo is an integrated system. And also the warehouse is all updated, and same with the sales module. Okay, that's the end of the presentation.
Okay, cool. Okay, and that's time for Q&A section. And we've got loads of questions in the YouTube chat box, and the response is really great, just like the forum. But first of all, I think we should give some time for Lisa to take a rest first, because she just gave a detail and also all-round demo for all of you guys, and I do really appreciate for Lisa's efforts. So just leave your question in the YouTube chat box if you have any, and from now on we have received 1 question, and maybe we can deal with it now. Okay, and the question is how if product receive parcel? Yeah.
So when you're in the inventory module, when I showed you the part, when you calculate, okay, I received 100 units, you can actually change the 100 units to 50 units to say you only received 50. So that would be in the area where you're receiving the shipment of the product.
Okay. And then
if you'd like me to show you in detail, please feel free to email me, lbr@odoo.com, or add me on Skype, and then I can show you in more detail.
And for Lisa contact, please refer to description box under the video, and I put Lisa's email and also her equity link, which you can schedule a demo with her.
Yes.
And then we have another question is, does the system support creating product with multiple vendors? And I think this is the first part. Is multiple vendor available in the system for creating the product?
The system support creating. Yeah, you can have multiple vendors.
Mm-hmm.
So with one product, you can have 4 or 5 different vendors associated with it, and then each vendor on.
It's just more specifically, such as different sites for the vendor, one in Philippines and one in Bangladesh.
Yes, yeah, you can create this. When you create different vendors, you can create different currencies, and you can say where the vendor is from. So I think this shouldn't be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
This is possible. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, and there's one question. How can I fix purchase order? Maybe the one who raised this question can elaborate it more specifically, because we can't understand what's the meaning of fixed purchase order. Maybe you have some configuration issues or some problem with your system. So can you please state more clearly, or you can just send email to Lisa for a more detailed answer.
Please feel free to email me, and yeah, I'll do my best to help you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got a practical question. Do we have tech support in Philippines?
We have partners in the Philippines who can provide some technical support. We don't currently have an office there, but we do have partners who may be able to provide on-site or on-site support for technical.
Okay, and this is a general question that will raise interest for our client. Where do you store data, while cloud or on-premise? Basically our structure, maybe our business structure.
Yeah, so we have three ways Odoo can be sold. One is on the cloud, which is a SaaS. Another where the information is stored on the cloud. We also have an on-premise version as well, which means you can host it on your own server. And then we also have SH, which is actually hosted by Odoo as well, so on the cloud. So it's optional, whichever best suits you.
Mm-hmm. And I have to stress that Lisa is not only familiarized with the application, because she is also the partnership business consultant. So if you guys have any questions regarding the partnership program, or if you'd like to join us and become our partner, you can also contact Lisa through email and also schedule a demo with her. And for the last question, how do I fix it if receiving wrong order from vendor? I think he refers to a wrong order. What's the resolution, or what's the way to deal with the wrong order from vendor?
I mean, you can cancel it and. Oh, okay. So let's say, for example, you need to return some stock. Is that what you mean? Or if that's the case, you can also return stock to vendors. Let's say you receive something and something's broken. This is possible as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I think is that.
Yes, and thank you, Lisa, for the stunning presentation and demo. And don't forget to click like if you found this video helpful, as well as subscribe to our channel to access more video in the future. And as always, if you have any further question, you can just send email to me, kcn@odoo.com, and also Lisa's email, which state in this description box. And if you come here late, you can just rewatch this video by revisiting the URL anytime you want and you like to will. And thanks again for all your participation, and we will see you at the same time next Wednesday on the topic for Odoo inventory. And thank you all and see you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.